Welcome to the 2018 Windsor Shad Derby Gala for the introduction of our 53rd Shad Derby Queens candidates. And first introduce our author, Tim Carmen. Tim?
Welcome, everyone. So we, with the flu season upon us, we had a bit of a snafu tonight where one of our judges actually came down ill with the flu. So we had Purell and other things to make sure all of you stay safe. But we're going to ask tonight that you try and refrain from any video or posting anything on social media for the next week, because the way we're going to address this is we're going to ask that when Win TV is going to film all the speeches tonight, we're going to have the judge that's absent tonight watch the video over the next week and do their judging, and then they'll join us for the other 2 nights and do their judging. So for the integrity kind of the judging and of the process, we're just going to ask people to refrain from posting anything, any videos, because we don't want the judge to see something potentially that might sway their view one way or the other. So, thank you very much.
Tonight, it's my pleasure to introduce your 2018 Shad Derby Festival co-chairs, Anthony Neary and Kristen Hoffman. Anthony Neary first joined our community in March of 2010, managing Valari's Martial Arts Centers of Windsor. Soon after, he learned of an amazing event called the Shad Derby, and later that year marched in the parade with all of his students and instructors. In 2011, Anthony met someone you might know, Donald Trinks, who inspired and guided him into doing more for this community. Over the next few years, Anthony started by reaching out to every school in Windsor to do an after-school martial arts program where all of the money would benefit that school in any way they deemed fit. With that program, Anthony and his team of experts raised thousands of dollars for the Windsor public school system. In 2013, Anthony joined the Windsor JCs, where he met an amazing group of volunteers working to help better their community. Amongst those folks, he met another great role model who's here tonight, John Jerry. Anthony saw John's passion and the love he had for this community and endeavored to learn more about creating a positive effect on Windsor. The following year, Anthony served as a representative for the JCs to communicate with the Shad Derby Bureau. In 2015 and 2016, he became the treasurer of the Shad Derby Committee and shadowed Chrissy and myself to eventually become the 2018 festival chairperson. Anthony is now a resident of Windsor and has been a small business owner here for 8 years. Everybody, Anthony Neary. Last but certainly not least, in her 5th consecutive year as Shad Derby co-chair, and believe me, that is a lot of work, people, Kristen Hoffman. Kristen moved to Windsor in 1998, and soon after became involved in both First Town Downtown and teaching CCD for St. Gabriel's Church in the hopes to get to know the people of Windsor. In 2000, she joined the Windsor Junior Women's Club, while an active member of the Junior League of Hartford. During her 14 years, she was the publicity chair, vice president, co-president, and co-Shad Derby coronation ball chair, which I hope to see all of you at a little bit later this year. In 2012, she was asked to join another Windsor civic organization, the Exchange Club of Windsor. She's going into the 9th year as an active member of the Exchange Club and was their 75th president in 2017. She's been co-chairing the Shad Derby Kickoff for 8 years, and she was recently nominated to the Windsor Arts Center Board. We welcome her with open arms. Quite a lot for the community, so just bear with me for one more moment. Kristen took her love of volunteering and in 2012 began working for the Greater Hartford Arts Council as the Development and Special Events Manager, where she planned events that raise awareness and bring support for the arts programs all around Greater Hartford area. In 2017, she made the decision to go back to the corporate environment in marketing and client relations. And let me just say, Kristen feels very fortunate to have had the volunteer opportunities that she's had prior to moving to Windsor, but the individuals that she's met, learned from, and worked alongside in Windsor have been a blessing. Kristen is a 20-year resident of Windsor, Connecticut, married to Bob Hoffman, and she is a member of the Windsor Lions, and they have an 11-year-old daughter named Grace. So once again, everyone, please join in.
My name is Anthony Neri, and with me the most beautiful woman in Windsor. Sorry, I had to make a blush. Kristen Hoffman. Okay, we are honored to be your 2018 Shad Derby Festival Chairman. Before we begin, we ask that you silence your mobile phones for the duration of the program.
We would like to take a moment to recognize the passing of longtime Shad Derby Arts Crafts Fair event chair, John Jessic, a wonderful man and a friend to all of us involved with the Shad Derby for many years. Greatly missed this year.
We would like to welcome members of the Board of Education, Town Council, parents, and distinguished guests. Everyone, please join us in welcoming our 2018 Shad Derby Queens candidates.
It is my pleasure to introduce our outstanding Queens Committee. Celeste Over, who is the chair of the Queens Committee, is an 8th grade math teacher at Sage Park Middle School and cross-country coach and track coach at Windsor High School. Leanna Jorgensen currently serves as vice principal at Sage Park Middle School. Tracy Peterson currently serves as principal at Pequannock Elementary School. Lauren Laszlo is an 8th grade math teacher at Sage Park Middle School and a cross-country coach and track coach at Windsor High School as well. And Emily Thompson, our newest addition to the Queens Committee, is going to be our 2019 Shad Derby chair next year. So she's getting the ropes in today. Thank you, ladies, so much for serving as great role models for our candidates and always putting our children first. We would also like to thank Kate Lang and Cindy Kaplan. Where are they? For once again organizing this wonderful evening for us. Their tireless efforts are showing the quality of this event. We would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to Union Street Tavern for the wonderful catering this evening, especially to the stellar management team. Christine, Bob, thank you, Dan. Wonderful, wonderful job. And the owners, they've been absolutely fantastic. They're going above and beyond the call. We'd also like to thank the Lodge and the Carmen family for letting us host the event here. Absolutely beautiful venue. None of you have walked around, take a peek at the end of the evening. It's just a beautiful place. So thank you so much.
The Shad Derby is a unique festival in Windsor that is run by all volunteers through 16 different civic and service organizations and supported by local businesses since 1955. And this year marks its 64th celebration. In 1954, John Cardillo helped to organize the first ever Shad Derby to raise awareness about the resources that would be lost if the Connecticut and Farmington rivers remained polluted. It all began as a fishing tournament. By 1966, the competition had grown in popularity and began its transition into the multi-month festival we've known and loved today. In 1970, Roger Olson passed an antique derby hat from the previous year's Shad Derby chairman to the present, symbolically passing the responsibility for the care and coordination of this festival. We are both honored to be part of this tradition and to be serving my first year and Kristen as her 5th year as festival chairs. As tradition has it, every year the color of the Shad Derby pin changes. Over the last 50-plus years, there have been many different colors. But this year, we are proud to say, we're going with red, white, and blue. The shield of the pin is blue. Pins and ribbons are given each year to all past festival chairs, current event chairs, and Bureau Board members, a tradition that started in 1972 by Roger Olson of Combustion Engineering and continues today. Thank you to many different pin and ribbon sponsors over the years.
At this time, we would like to recognize our past Derby chairs that are with us this evening. You can choose to stand or give a wave. Mr. Bill Chido, past chair and past president. Dr. Robert Gandy, past chair. Shannon Rabbit Coleman, past chair. John Jerry, past president. Kathy Kopaz, past chair and Queens Committee chair. Fran Murphy, past chair. Carrie Ruiz, past chair. Neil Sashta, past chair. Dina Steck-Schulte, past chair and Queens Committee chair. And my favorite, Ernie Weisberg.
We would also like to recognize Shad Derby Committee chairs whose hard work and tremendous civic pride facilitate the organization of this festival. Please stand and be recognized for your efforts. As we read the list, we ask that everyone please hold your applause till the end.
Patricia Bruin, Win TV. Warren Cardone, Kiwanis. Matt Schmiel, Masons. Bill Clark, Kiwanis. Megan Conley, JCs. Ginny Conroy, Windsor Women's Club. Mary Korean Vaca, Windsor Women's Club. Mary DeHaze, Windsor Junior Women's Club. Tammy Doobie, JCs. Kristen's not there. John Jerry, Exchange Club. Susan King, JCs. Kate Lang. Sheila Lewis, Windsor Junior Women's Club. Chris Mankey, JCs. Lisa Miller, Windsor Women's Club. Sherry Moore, Judge's Chair. Debbie Orth, Lions. Celeste Over, Queens Committee. Chris Posniak, JCs. Carrie Reeves, Masons. Neil Sashted, Civitan. Bert Smith, JCs. Cindy Kaplan. These are there's a few people that aren't here, but these are the folks that run these events. So please, a round of applause for these people. The Shad Derby Festival is not possible without our candidate sponsors. Noon's Quality Plumbing and Heating, Valari's Martial Arts Center, Windsor Lions Club, Windsor JCs, Hairdresser on Fire, Geisler Supermarkets, Union Street Tavern, John's Broad Street Erie, Tungus Grill, Ashley's Distinctive Jewelry and Gifts, Exchange Club of Windsor, Rice Hardware, Menchie's Frozen Yogurt, PC Development, and Nightmare Acres. We thank them very much for sponsoring our girls this year. We'd especially like to thank Conica Minolta, especially Missy Sanzavero, for donating the services to print the posters that you see on the tables, the invitations, the festivals, and coronation ball programs. And Mitchell Sealy again for sponsoring this year. We'd also like to thank Carrie Louise and Krista Fusco of Ashley's Jewelers and Distinctive Gifts for providing the judges this evening with their pins, as well as the crown for this year, and the gifts for the Queen and her court.
We would like to recognize the Shad Derby Bureau, who represents the civic organizations that do so much for this community. The Windsor Junior Women's Club, the JCs, Lions, Masons, Civitan, Exchange, Windsor Women's Club, Kiwanis, Rod and Gun Club, Historic Society, Win TV, Town of Windsor Recreation Department, the Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce, and the Windsor Arts Center. So, the list of Shad Derby Festival events on the website at windsorshadderby.org. This year, there is an event for everyone. And let me tell you, from fishing to arts and crafts to bowling to beer and wine that we all love, okay, a basketball tournament, and of course, a coronation ball and parade. We look forward to seeing all of you there this year. At the end of the event, we will have representatives from the Shad Fest Bureau have a different organization be available for information and tickets to purchase to their wonderful events. We certainly hope to see you all there. Now, tonight is the first of 3 judging events for the 2018 Windsor Shad Derby Queens candidates. The gala comprises 15% of their overall score. Private interviews with our judges represent 60%. And finally, the coronation ball represents 25% of their final score. Tonight, candidates will be judged on their voice, appearance, presentation of their introduction speeches.
Candidates are also competing for 2 community service awards. The Mary Ellen Messina Community Service Award is given to a candidate who exemplifies strong community service. It is given in honor for the memory of the Windsor Junior Women's Club past president Mary Ellen Messina, who is very active and dedicated in the Windsor community. This award will be presented by the Windsor Junior Women's Club at the Coronation Ball on May 5th. The other service award, the Vincent Scully Community Service Award and Memorial Award, is named after a longtime beloved Windsor resident, business owner, past festival chair, and 30-year sponsor of Shad Derby Queens candidates. This award will be presented by the festival chairs at the Coronation Ball to the Queens candidate who obtains the largest number of participants for the Shad Derby Family Bowling fundraiser on Sunday, March 18th. Thank you, Nancy, for being here tonight to represent the Scully family. Nancy Scully. Yeah!
It is our pleasure to introduce our judges, our auditor, Timothy Carmen, and our judges chair, Sherry Moore. Tracy Carter. Tracy was born in Hartford, Connecticut, attended Bloomfield schools, and now currently lives in Hartford. Tracy served as a Hartford police officer for more than 20 years and retired in 2002. She holds the distinction of being the first and only female officer to be assigned to the motorcycle division of the traffic department. During her career, she served as a detective in juvenile services, background investigations, evidentiary services, and candidate recruitment. After retiring from the Hartford Police Department, she has held positions at FedEx, Whole Foods, and recently retired from U.S. Airways, where she worked as a club agent. Tracy enjoys her time volunteering as a community gardener at the Niles Street Garden, sponsored by the Hartford Knox Foundation, and as a seamstress with Nightfall Hartford, an organization supporting the visual and performing arts in the city. She continues to travel extensively, recently returning from Brazil. All right, Jeremy Moore. Jeremy lives in Hebron, Connecticut with his wife Kate and their two daughters Abigail, 14, and Charlotte, 8. He has worked with elementary agenda students for more than half of his life. First as a Parks and Recreation supervisor in Manchester, then for the Boys and Girls Club of Tampa, and for the last 16 years he has been an elementary school teacher. He has taught in Andover, Hartford, and East Hampton, where he now teaches 4th grade. Jeremy is currently pursuing his 6th-year degree in educational leadership at Sacred Heart University. He serves as the vice president of the Hebron Education Foundation, a nonprofit that fundraises to enrich the educational experience of all kindergarten through 6th grade students in Hebron. Jeremy feels connected to Windsor, as this is where his paternal grandmother, Jean Gosley, grew up. Jeremy's great-grandfather, Carlin Gosley, escorted the first Shad Derby queen. Marianne Trelaga Benoit. Marianne was born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut. She attended St. Gabriel School, Sage Park, and graduated from Windsor High School in 1978. She graduated from Northeastern University in Boston with a degree in dental hygiene and public health. After college, she returned to Windsor and worked as a dental hygienist for 20 years. Windsor is also where she met her husband and has been married for 30 years. She now lives in South Windsor, where she raised her 3 children. Marianne volunteered for many years in the South Windsor school system and was a member of the PTA. As she currently works in her husband's computer company, Tab Computer Systems Incorporated. Marianne is an avid horseback rider and enjoys running, skiing, and travel with her husband and family.
Timothy Carmen, our auditor. Tim was born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut. He attended Loomis Chaffee in Windsor, graduating in the class of 1999. Tim went on to the University of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia, graduating with a BS in accounting and a BA in religion. Soon after college, he became a CPA in the state of Connecticut. Currently, Tim is the Vice President of Risk Management at Max Mutual Life Insurance Company in Springfield, Massachusetts. In 2004, Tim moved to South Windsor after marrying his wife, Kristen, whom he met in college. Tim and Kristen have 3 beautiful children, Drew 9, Emily 7, and Luke 4, who keep them extremely busy. This is Tim's 12th year as auditor of the Shad Derby Queens contest. Sherry Moore, Judge's Chair. Sherry was born and raised in Manchester, Connecticut, and has lived in Windsor for the past 30 years. After graduating Becker College, she pursued a career with the airlines and recently celebrated her 33rd year with American Airlines. Sherry has volunteered in various capacities within Windsor Public Schools and has been involved with the Shad Derby for several years. Sherry is married to Spencer Moore, and they have 2 beautiful girls, Cameron and Eleanor. Sherry is proud to dedicate her time to the Shad Derby Committee, and we're very grateful to have her with us and to give back to this Windsor tradition. She likes to spend her leisure time gardening, traveling, and volunteering at the Bushnell for the Performing Arts. this time, we're going to turn the program over to Celeste Over so we can listen to this beautiful girl. And good luck and enjoy.
First, we have Alex Kachelke, Miss PC Development Group.
Good evening, everyone. I have always been one of those people who doesn't fit into a particular group. I'm not the popular girl or the teacher's pet. I'm not the star athlete or rank number one in my class. It wasn't until I joined my high school swim team that I felt like I belonged. Most of the girls in the team had been swimming their whole lives and had known each other since they were little, but they still welcomed me, an outsider coming in. Most people think of swimming as an individual sport, but we are, if not as much of a team than sports like football and basketball. I learned a lot about friendship and teamwork from these girls, especially when it comes to working with those you may not necessarily agree with. All of our differences get put aside when we're in the pool. No matter what happens, we will continue to cheer each other on during our tough races. Whether I'm lifeguarding, taking swimming lessons, or at practice, I'm always at the pool. I never would have discovered my love for the water if it hadn't been for this team. Although I don't plan to swim competitively in college, I am forever grateful for everything it has taught me both in and out of the water, and I will always be a swimmer. I'd like to thank my sponsor, PC Development Group, for this amazing opportunity.
Rebecca Romero, Miss Rice Hardware.
Good evening, everyone. Determined is the best way to describe me. As a young girl, I was determined to break a few barriers. However, I was unaware of this at the time. Everyone's life experience shapes who they are, and that was no different for the half Puerto Rican, half Argentinian girl living in the town of Windsor. Growing up with two brothers, I have always wanted to be one of the boys, which led me to do something that only a couple girls in Windsor have attempted before. I not only played softball, but I played baseball. People question me as to why I wanted to play with the boys. My answer was, why not? I was just as strong, just as fast, and just as smart as any one of the boys out there. In fact, I felt that I was tougher than most of them. I felt that I was as tough as nails, and now the irony is that my sponsor is a hardware store. My father never gave me any special treatment for being a girl and always pushed me to show everyone that nothing could hold me back. During those 2 seasons of being the only girl in the league, I proved myself. Everyone saw what I was capable of, and I earned my respect. This experience taught me what determination is, and that I always have to give my all. Like my dad always says, give 100% and a little bit more. And this phrase sticks within me in everything I do. I want to give a special thanks to my sponsor, Rice Hardware, and everyone have a great evening.
Janelle DeRosie, Miss News, Quality Plumbing and Heating.
Good evening. For the past 4 years, academics and softball have been my main focus. This year, I was appointed captain for the Windsor High School softball team, an achievement I'm very proud of because I could have given up freshman year when I tore my ACL. At that point, I became focused on school and rehab. I also learned that helping people was going to be my purpose in life. The nurse that helped me with my recovery pushed me to never give up and to work hard so that I could continue to play softball, which was very important to me. A career in nursing will allow me to encourage my future patients to have the same strength and willpower to take back control of their lives the way I was able to do with mine. My perseverance and determination has allowed me to overcome obstacles in the past, and these attributes will continue to inspire me to be successful in life. I believe attending Curry College next year will afford me the opportunity to become this person. I would like to thank my sponsor, Newton's Quality Plumbing and Heating, and enjoy your evening.
Gabrielle Lambert, Miss Geisler Supermarket.
Good evening, everyone. I stand in front of you all as a captain, a volunteer, a counselor, a lifeguard manager, and active member of the Windsor High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. I'm a dog lover and a passionate Philadelphia Eagles fan. But above all things, I am a future fighter pilot. In 5th grade, I attended my first air show and I remember the exact feeling I had when the Air Force Thunderbirds flew right over my head. The sheer noise of those massive aircrafts piercing the sky would give anyone goosebumps. At that moment, with tears welling in my eyes, I knew I wanted to be right up there with the Thunderbirds. Fast forward to freshman year, I took a trip to Virginia Beach with the Windsor High School Choral Department. Our hotel was right by a naval air base, and every once in a while, a fighter jet would soar over our rooms. Remember, everyone would complain about the noise, whining about how the planes were interrupting their show, but for me, they were the show. I've lived in Windsor my whole life, but it's not my home. My home is in the sky. Thank you, my incredible sponsor, Geyser Supermarket, and have a great night.
Alyssa Haran, Miss Windsor JCs.
Good evening, everyone. I am an artist. It took me 17 years, 6 sports, 3 instruments, and many hobbies to finally say that art is my thing. It may not have been quick to discover art, but with my perseverance and my courage to always try new things led me to who I am today. Being part of the art program at Windsor High helped me express my creativity and where I feel the most like myself. I plan on going to school for interior design where I could finally pursue my dream. The beauty of interior design is starting with a clean slate and creating and designing someone's story. Taking one's personality and turning it into a physical art form is what I truly love about interior design. In the future, through my art, I plan on creating and enriching new experiences for people. I'd like to thank my sponsors, the Windsor JCs. Thank you and have a nice night.
Rhiannon Trznowski, Miss Hairdresser on 5.
Good evening, friends and families of the Shad Derby Queen contestants. I am the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned spitfire that will always surprise you and will never be predictable. I am the girl. I'm the girl that can rule Windsor Air Force Junior ROTC with an iron fist and also come in top 5 of a school-wide poetry contest. I'm the girl that's blunt, sharp, sweet, and sour all at the same time, and not everybody likes it. I'm the girl that everyone tried to put in a box. I'm the girl that everyone tried to calm, tried to tame. I'm the girl that refuses to stand down, refuses to give up, and refuses to conform, to change myself for the comfort of others. I am the girl. I am the girl that's tried to fit in her whole life because that's what everyone wanted me to do, expected me to do. Well, I am the girl that is now abstaining. The girl who hasn't fit in, doesn't fit in, and in the future, guess what? I'm probably not going to fit in. And that's okay, because I am that girl. I'd like to thank my family, Mrs. Peterson, and my sponsor, Hairdresser on Fire, for making it possible for me to be here tonight. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening.
Jolly You, Miss Nightmare Acres.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'd like to share with you a true story. A story about a little girl with her big dreams. About 5 years ago, I moved to Windsor from China. I spoke very little English, and I was worried about making friends, going to school, studying English, and even everyday life in the community. I had to work hard in order to keep the worries from overwhelming my dreams. Thankfully, Windsor is a diverse and welcoming place. With the assistance and encouragement of caring and dedicated teachers of Windsor, I slowly learned English and have been modeled into a persevering young lady who is not afraid to pursue her goals. I am now prepared to take a career path to become a doctor. And I also understand that individual among with and will require the support of community. I could not have become the person what I am today without people in here who support me. So I'd like to give a special thank you to my sponsor, 9 Million Acres, who gave me this opportunity to be here, and also the people in here who helped to create the Windsor I love with opportunity and education it offers. Thank you.
Bianca Romero, Miss Exchange Club of Windsor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bianca Romero, and I'll be honest, I am terrified right now. To those who know me, standing and talking in front of a big crowd of people is definitely not my strong suit. Even in my day-to-day activities, such as my TV productions class, I prefer to be the one behind the camera, never the one in front. Yet here I am today. You see, recently I've learned to push myself forward to unlock my full potential. As Neil Donald Walsh, a known American author, once said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I'm starting to apply this quote to my everyday decisions, and I plan to take this mindset with me when I go to college to study veterinary science. Whether it's something as small as joining the Windsor High School softball team, or something as big as being up here in front of you, I now strive to take chances. I grow and learn more every day with the help of my supportive parents, my 3 brothers, and the various opportunities that Windsor has had to offer me. So although I'm not typically a risk taker, and I'm most comfortable sticking to routines, I now know that in life, I would much rather have a bunch of oh wells than what ifs. I would like to give a special thank you to my sponsor, the Exchange Club of Windsor, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night.
Camille McHenry, Miss Tungsis Grill.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to think of myself as a person of variety. I'll start with the fact that I'm mixed. No, I'm not your typical mix of black and white. That's what you were thinking. I'm Guyanese and African American. Guyana is located in the northern part of South America and is considered to be a part of the West Indies. So I simply say that I'm West Indian and people sort of understand. You see, no one has ever guessed it correctly the first time. I'm competitive. I've always been. I guess it's because I have 2 older brothers who I try to compete with despite our 4 and 8 year difference. I'm the only girl, so they treat me differently. It motivates me to be better than the next guy. I race with boys at practice because it motivates me. And it makes them a little nervous. But what I really struggle to get people to understand about myself is my love of art. People think that I'm going to go to medical school because I'm smart, as they say. Some even chuckled when I said I wanted to study fashion, as if I'm wasting my time. I figure it doesn't hurt to try. You know, not every person who's pursuing a career in art is going to be a starving artist. I'd like to thank my wonderful sponsor, Tungsis Grill, and thank you all for your time.
Kelly Pecoris, Miss Ashley's Distinctive Jewelry and Gifts.
Good evening, everyone. I have always enjoyed helping others. Since I was a little girl, my dream job was to be a doctor. Watching both of my grandmothers go from healthy to sick, very sick, had a significant impact on me. Growing up, I never watched cartoons. I watched medical or doctor shows, always trying to learn as much as possible. I have always told myself I will get there one day. When I started at Windsor High, I was given many choices of classes to choose from. My goal was to take classes that would assist me in my journey to becoming a doctor. My favorite class was medical emergencies, where I was able to become CPR certified. What a great feeling, having the ability to save a life.
The hands-on activities only confirmed what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I personally cannot think of a better feeling. Keeping my eye on the prize, I have worked hard to maintain high academic standing, earning top honors and making the honor roll. Every day I try to be the best I can be and work towards my goal. I would like to thank my sponsor, Ashley's Distinctive Jewelry and Gifts, for giving me the opportunity to participate in Windsor Shad Derby.
Callie Smith, Miss Menchie's Frozen Yogurt.
Good evening, everyone. I found my love for swimming at a very young age. I remember my first swim lessons and sitting on the wall at Welch Pool with my best friend, playing name games, diving for rings, and learning how to blow bubbles into the water. I spent the majority of my summers at Welch Pool, both in lessons and as a regular during open swim. After finding my love for swimming at Welch Pool, it came as no surprise to my family that I asked to try out for the Windsor Water Rats. Being a part of the swim team has not only taught me what it means to be a good teammate, but also taught me a lot about myself as a person. In high school, I figured that as a swimmer, it'd be fitting that my first job also be as a lifeguard. It had all come full circle. I went from being the little girl in lessons to the lifeguard teaching the lessons. All my kids were looking up to me just as I had looked up to my lifeguards. It was through my first job that I learned responsibility, problem solving, and what it really means to be a leader. Living and working in the town of Windsor has given me so many amazing opportunities that have shaped me into the person that I am today. I would like to thank my amazing sponsor, Menchie's Frozen Yogurt, and I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Alyssa Gary, Miss Valari's Martial Arts Centers.
Good evening, everyone. In October 2007, 7-year-old me, the youngest of 3 sisters, came home from school and asked my mom if I could do karate. I figured I had watched enough old kung fu movies with my dad, and I might actually be pretty good at it. I was right. In the dojo, I was strong, I was loud, and I was special. The only problem was that once class was over, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me. Confidence was where I struggled. Fortunately, my instructors and my parents saw my leadership potential and forced me out of my comfort zone. I began helping them teach classes and found a passion for helping other students. I loved being a leader. As I grew older, it became easier for me to instruct large groups, to build rapport with adults, to hold my head up high, and assert myself in all aspects of my life. Now, I teach students of all ages. Every so often, I come across children that remind me of that 7-year-old shy girl. I always make it my personal goal to build that child's confidence the same way my instructors did for me. I'd like to think that I am using my influence to help shape future leaders of tomorrow. I'd like to thank the committee for this amazing opportunity, and I'd also like to thank my sponsors and mentors at Polaris. Without you, I wouldn't be the young woman that I am today. Thank you.
Sophie Grauenstein, Miss Windsor Lions Club.
Good evening, everyone. Although I may be dolled up tonight, chances are you'll see me around town in my riding gear from working with my favorite horse, Ripley. In my younger years, I began volunteering at a local horse farm. The work was demanding and allowed me to prepare myself as a tobacco harvester, a rite of passage of a Windsor teen. While picking tobacco, the boys believed that this girl could not perform such physical tasks. I powered on and I proved all those boys wrong. I am no delicate flower. This experience only made me strive harder and lead by example. In the past year, I was selected not only as captain for my horseback riding team, but was nationally recognized for my artwork entitled Little Girls with Big Dreams. Working hard on the farm, being the only girl in the field, riding and controlling a 1,000-pound animal have all taught me that girl power is everything, and that one can become accomplished with determination. I encourage the young women around me to always celebrate your dreams and to never be afraid to express your truths. Thank you to my amazing sponsor, the Windsor Lions Club, for allowing me to express myself tonight, and have a lovely evening.
Olivia McAdams, Miss Union Street Talent.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to speak with you tonight. I've lived in Windsor my whole life. I've grown up on bike rides to the library, kayaking down by Bart's, and family hiking trips at Northwest Park. I was your average middle schooler with jeans in every color and commitment to making high honor roll. Yet, as I've grown up, I've become as diverse as my town. Whether I'm teaching kids how to raise bees at my job, organizing charity events for female empowerment groups, speaking out against the human rights abuses against Native Americans, playing lacrosse, or making stained glass windows, I have grown into who I am supposed to be. I see myself as a student in all forms, and will go on to aid others as I hope to become a public health educator for anti-sex trafficking organizations. I'd like to extend lots of thanks to my fantastic sponsor, the Union Street Tavern, and my family. Thank you, and enjoy your evening.
Cassidy McDonald, Miss Dom's Broad Eatery, Dom's Broad Street Eatery.
Good evening, everyone. When you first meet me, most people notice that I'm tall, strong-minded, and outgoing. But when you really get to know me, I am understanding, caring, and patient. And I am these things because of my brother. My older brother has Down syndrome, and because of him, I have learned a lot about myself. I've always wanted to help people understand what Down syndrome is, how it affects the person as well as their families. I distinctly remember one time when I was 9 and at a soccer game, a little girl started pointing at my brother, laughing and smiling. When I looked to my mom and asked her why, she looked at me and said because she doesn't understand and hasn't been taught what Down syndrome is. That has stuck with me ever since. I have always enjoyed going to watch my brother play his sport because his big smile and laugh makes it all worth it. Because of him, I volunteer annually at Special Olympics. Being able to provide the help with the participants, it gives me such honor. My brother has inspired me to want to study psychology at Curry College next fall, so I can help others understand Down syndrome as well. I would like to thank my sponsor, Don's Eatery, as well as Windsor for this opportunity. Thank you and have a great evening.
I need to give these ladies another huge round of applause. And you all told me you were nervous. I didn't see any nerves in there. Very proud of you. You all did a wonderful job this evening.
It's hard to do that with you next to me. All right. Okay, Windsor Civic Groups Working Together is the mission of the Shad Fest Bureau and the Shad Derby Committee. They are the backbone of this festival. It is our volunteers in the Windsor community that continue to keep the beliefs and customs of the Shad Derby alive and well.
John Cardillo, who implemented and organized the first Shad Derby in 1954, he was quoted with saying that it was his hope that the Shad Derby would become a tradition that is kept and not lost. I'm more nervous reading this than I was all night. John Cardillo's quote certainly rings true for one Shad Derby member. We would like to take a moment to thank someone who has continually dedicated their time to perpetuating the traditions and maintaining the integrity of the Windsor Shad Derby. We have been honored to work with someone who is so passionate about their community. His leadership and effort have brought this festival to the next level. His dedication has secured the stability for the Derby for years to come. His efforts are exemplified in the rebranding and marketing of our logo, which you see in front of you, and a true labor of love, facilitating the creation of the Shad Derby Pale Ale. He is an advocate for all Windsor civic organizations, fostering camaraderie between groups to always making sure that we all pitched in and always reminded us that together we can do more. Mr. John Jerry, you are a true visionary when it comes to giving back to this community, and he will never speak to me again after this. And you have gone above and beyond for others, always with ease, class, and grace. We would like to recognize your 7 years as Shad Derby Bureau President. You have an ability to bring out the best in people, to bring people together, and to motivate us all. Over the years, you have shared your words of wisdom and many, many puns to us all. As an organization run solely by volunteers, John has been key in forming the future of our beloved festival, but that absolutely comes with sacrifice, a lot of hard work, and knowing when to introduce change. As John has shared with me more times than I care to count, if there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action. You have exemplified these words in everything you have done for this festival and for the Windsor community. And we would like to present you with this plaque recognizing the years of service you have given to the Derby as the longest consecutive Shad Derby president. John, together can always do more, and together we have done so much. Thank you, John Jerry. I want to thank everybody for coming this evening, and I cannot even tell you, I've known so many of you girls sitting here tonight, and you all made me cry tonight, so thank you so much. It was wonderful to hear you all speak. Thank you all for being part of this tradition, this wonderful festival, and for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you at all the events. Thank you.